This is the video review of Beast Wars Neo Saberback. And Saberback's a pretty neat figure. I won't say he's a good figure, but he's neat. He is a Stegosaurus, and as you can see, I'm missing a couple of these platelets here. And like one of the smaller ones I'll put here because I don't have the really big one that would be right here, but overall, it doesn't look bad. I do like this mode. I think it looks good. I like the painting, the coloring, and the sculpting. Oops. This is a little skull that fits inside here that fell down. I do like the way it looks. It is a bit weird here in the front shoulders, but other than that, and these back here and some robot bits down here, other than that, it's a pretty flawless robot mode. I do like it. It's not the most posable thing in the world because, like, the hind legs, all they can do is move out like this. You can bend the knee forward, but actually, that doesn't look too bad, but you expose more of the leg stuff here, so the hind legs are kind of a lost cause. Nothing else in the body, but you do get some pretty nice forelegs. Go 360, in outs, ball joint, thigh swivel, or not thigh, bicep swivel. You get some toe articulation, and then you get an elbow. So I do quite like this mode. I think it looks nice, and it's pretty solid. Now he has a very strange third mode thingamajigbob where you pop his tail up and then it's on his spine here. You'll want to bend this down until it clicks into place, which will reveal a giant flower. And I don't know what this is really supposed to be. I guess it's just a plant, so yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is a confirmed scientific fact brought to you by Hasbro and Takara that when Stegosauruses die, they turn into plants just like the Pequeninos from Orson Scott Card's Speaker for the Dead. Oh yeah, scientific fact. Anyway, that silliness aside, let's get to the transformation. Pop the tail off. You don't have to take it off, but it makes things a lot easier because he's kind of kibbly. Now anyway, to transform him, pop this up, and pop his hand out. I like how you pop this little toe up. I think that's neat. Although these little hands are in there very tight, and the little ledge you can use to pull up on it is kind of sharp. So I hurt my thumb a little bit, poor baby me. Now anyway, then pull this leg straight, and then pull this kind of ski thing here. This will be his foot, and that'll peg into his rear dinosaur foot. Just like that. And then we'll take these side panels, pop them away, and just leave them with his legs down there. Then what we're going to do is we're going to split his body here. Split it. And then coming on to next, we'll rotate them forward so they're out of the way. Straighten out his legs like this. And fold these to his sides so they'll be out of the way. And then fold this down. And then bring straighten up this kind of waist joint. And then push it down together. And that forms most of his chest and his lower body. Next we'll take his arms, swing them around. There's a little hole here and a little tab right in there. Those will join up here, and that's actually a pretty strong connection. I was worried it would be kind of loose, but I like how well that pegs in. Next what we'll do is we'll take these, rotate them forward. They're on a little swivel here next to the ball joint. Rotate them around and fold them back. This makes them look more like ornamentation, and it hides away the obvious Stegosaurus bits, at least from the front. So I like doing that, especially because of something else I do with this later. I'll show you. Then you'll bring the head around, cover his spark crystal with the skull, and then rotate the head around. And what I like to do is you can just put these back out like this, but I like to flatten them out. I think that looks just a little bit more impressive than just a bunch of spikes. It looks less random. And so anyway, this is basically his robot mode, and I think I did one of the feet wrong. It's very easy to miss the hole. There we go, and there we go. And anyway, this is his robot mode. I really like the way he looks. I like the Native American aesthetic going on. I think it's a pretty original design for a Transformer robot mode. I've heard a couple reviewers say this was kind of offensive, but I don't really see it, because if you can't homage one culture, then you can't homage any others, and I can't think of any right now, but I know there are at least several other Transformers out there that kind of look like other cultures. Oh, like Bonsaitron, or Bonsaitron, and then, what's his name? He's the, there's Bonsaitron, and it doesn't matter. Basically, if it's okay to make a figure that homages one culture, it's okay to make a figure that homages all cultures. Otherwise, it would be racist. Well, actually, this is racist anyway, because as it particularly points something out about a race, or rather a culture of a race, but it's not the bad kind of racism, let's put it that way. So I like the way he looks. I do think that transformation is quite fun, although these big panels, I do wish they folded up. He does have some balance problems, but just lean forward a little bit and it won't be that bad. And pushes closer to the body. I don't mind the way these look. I like how they sort of give him an imperial ornamented look by going up over his shoulders, but I do wish that the little Stegosaurus head here would fold up onto the side or something, because how it is, it's a bit too much. Now, one thing that kind of surprised me about this figure when I got him was his size. He is, where's a deluxe? Here's a standard size deluxe, Jazz. This guy is short. All the video reviews and pictures I had seen of this guy before I got him, they made me think this guy was about Voyager size, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to get him, because at Voyager size, the kibble issues aren't that bad, because you can get your fingers in there, but at this size, kibble really does become a killing factor, because if you can't get a good grip on the figure, then it's not a good figure. So anyway, you've seen how it looks, you've seen the transformation. It is a pretty nice design, it's just the execution suffers a little bit. For articulation, the head can rotate side to side. The arms rotate 360 if not for these, although they can still rotate 360, you just have to move these with them. In, out, rotate above the elbow, bend 90 degrees at the elbow, even bend the hands down, which will make him a very good swordsman figure. The legs go forward, back, in, out, although you'll have to contend with these, and then bend at the knee, and you can get a little bit of movement in the feet, but not much. So, about the only thing really left to cover on this guy is his weapon. The big problem with his weapon is, if you put it into his hand, well, I failed that. If you put it into his hand, it will fall. Now, if you open it up, it will decrease the leverage slightly, but it's still kind of a silly weapon. It's not that bad when it's opened up. It kind of looks intimidating, but it will still fall. So what I like to do is I don't store it, use it in his hand. I plug it into this section up here where it was when he was in beast mode. I plug it in up here and it becomes a shoulder cannon. It sort of counterbalances his back heaviness, although the joints are kind of loose on mine, but it counterbalances his back heaviness, which makes him a lot more stable. Well, if the joints were tighter, I've been playing with him a bit today, so he's looser now than when I had him, or than when I first got him, but if his joints were tighter, this would counterbalance him a lot, and I think that looks a bit more intimidating, and it doesn't, well, it's just going all to hell right now, but when I was playing with it earlier, it worked pretty well. Just put this over his shoulder, looked intimidating, and he could stand in more this is getting awful. I'll have to tighten those joints, but trust me when I say this is the best way to use this weapon. It stays out of the way generally, and it looks intimidating. Stand, damn you! This is an issue of the ball joints, not of the balance, so I don't know if it's just the surface or what, but god damn it. Anyway, you've seen all you really need to see about this figure. It's an interesting figure. And, actually, one thing, you could conceivably make it so that this thing never comes off of here. Just cut off the clip here so you don't have to worry about banging into this. and cut off the peg here and then glue it onto here. You could conceivably do that. I may do that. That will make it so he's not actually a parts former at all. So there are certain modifications you can do to improve the figure. It's not a horrible figure. Do I recommend it? I don't know. If you like what you... Basically, the thing's a piece of crap, but it has potential. If you're willing to invest some time tightening the joints and a bunch of other stuff, maybe he's worth it. He certainly looks good in both modes, but I'm rambling on here. If you like what you see, get it. You're gonna get this kind of mess. I was ready to give this thing a decent review, say that. While it wasn't perfect, you could certainly deal with most of its issues, but no, he's not cooperating. So, yeah, what can I say that I haven't already said? Get it if you like it. So, yeah. I reviewed Transformers, Beast Wars subline of Transformers, Power Rangers, Marvel figures, just a bunch of stuff. If any of that sounds interesting, please subscribe.